In this video, we will continue our exploration of the health communication campaign. Our focus is on a particular approach to such campaigns, the social marketing approach. Social marketers assume that the impact of health campaigns can be increased by adopting the marketing strategies used to sell products. We have 4 objectives today. First, we will define social marketing. Based on this definition, I will then describe the primary features of social marketing. Thereafter, I will list the steps involved in launching a social marketing campaign. We will end with a brief case study of one social marketing campaign, the Road Crew campaign. The definition I offer is used widely and comes from Dr. Alan Andresen, a professor of marketing at Georgetown University. He defines social marketing as the application of commercial marketing technologies to the analysis, planning, execution, and evaluation of programs designed to influence the voluntary behaviors of target audiences in order to improve their personal welfare and that of their society. Social marketers take a consumer orientation. The people we seek to influence are consumers who need to buy into the health-related idea that we're trying to sell to them. We also use many of the very technologies developed in business to market products and services. The idea is that what works for selling Coca-Cola can work when we're trying to sell consumers on the idea of eating more fruits and vegetables, exercising more, undergoing cancer screenings, and the like. We need to position the health-related idea we are selling in a way that makes it attractive to influence people to adopt that idea voluntarily. When selling a health-related idea, we need to target specific audience segments. McDonald's sells burgers differently to kids than to adults. Social marketers take the same approach. Social marketing differs from for-profit commercial marketing in one important way. Commercial marketers are first and foremost concerned about benefiting themselves. In contrast, social marketing focuses on the personal welfare of individuals and the larger society. We will compare social marketing with the traditional health information campaign on key differences. First, social marketing begins with consumer research to understand the mindset of the consumer. The approach is to offer the consumer an exchange. For example, if we wish to use social marketing to convince people to adopt a plant-based diet, we offer them benefits for doing so in exchange for the costs they incur for making this change. Benefits include a longer and healthier life, living an ecologically friendly lifestyle, and being kind to animals. The primary costs are that they will have to give up foods they love and might be the target of ridicule from some friends and family members. Just as any product marketer must convince us that their product is worth the price, so too must we convince meat eaters that what they give up is worth it. If we can show them that this exchange is profitable for them, they will buy into our idea. If we fail, the problem is ours. We did not meet the consumer's wants and needs. We are responsible. In contrast, the traditional media campaign begins with top-down planning and is expert-driven. The campaign staff know what is best for the people they seek to influence. The idea in many campaigns, especially older campaigns, is that awareness will produce action. If people just have the facts, they will modify their behavior. If they don't, we might ask ourselves, what's wrong with those people? The failure is theirs, not ours. We now have enough years of experience to know that expert advice is often dismissed and that awareness does not always lead to behavior change. The consumer orientation is the defining feature of social marketing, but what does this mean? It means that we want to understand their perceptions. What barriers prevent them from adopting this behavior? For example, if we want to sell the vegan lifestyle to Americans, what prevents them from going vegan? Is it false fear of protein deficiencies? Unwillingness to walk away from grandma's famous meatloaf? Lack of knowledge about how to prepare vegan dishes? We need to know. What benefits do they see from becoming a vegan? Are they aware of the research on the health benefits, the environmental benefits, the money-saving benefits? We also need to know the social norms that may be affecting their decisions. This is where targeting can be especially important. For example, among younger people, being a vegan may be socially valued, or at least not condemned. However, the older person may be entrenched in a social network where vegans are thought of as crazy cabbage heads. Finally, we need to know if there are self-efficacy concerns that would prevent a person from becoming a vegan if they wanted to do so. Self-efficacy on this topic might include willpower and cooking skills. It could be shopping related. A person might not know where to go for vegan ingredients. Social marketing draws heavily upon the exchange theory. In a social marketing campaign, people are asked to exchange something, such as time, money, and pleasure, to obtain the benefits of what is being promoted. The campaign must make an attractive offer, one that creates an increased awareness of the problem, demonstrates the product's benefits, and is available at a fair price. Like product marketers, we also need to monitor the competition. Coca-Cola has to be concerned about Pepsi. Social marketers also give attention to competitors. For example, if we want to convince kids to exercise, we will need to deal with such competitors as television and video games. Social marketers, like traditional marketers of products and services, focus heavily upon the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, place, and promotion. Product refers to what we are offering people in the exchange. This might be a tangible good, such as condoms in a safer sex campaign. It could be a service, such as cancer screening. It could also be an idea, such as vegans live longer, or exercise for life. The product must be a solution to a problem. Price refers to the cost of adopting the product. Price can include money, such as the cost of car seats for children. Price can entail time, such as the time it takes to exercise daily. Price can be about loss of pleasure, such as the pleasure one loses when cutting out sweets from one's diet. Price can also be about embarrassment, such as the embarrassment one might experience when getting certain types of cancer screening. Anything we do to reduce price helps. Perhaps condoms can be distributed for free or discreetly in a safer sex campaign. Perhaps a car seat subsidy can be provided. The 3rd P is place. Here we are referring to how we get the product to the people. The meaning of place depends on the nature of the product that is being distributed. For a commodity, a physical item such as car seats, place is the location where the products are purchased or distributed. For services, place is where services are provided, such as clinics in which free mammography is given to poor women. When the product is an idea, place can be the media channel or face-to-face channel through which the idea is communicated. Place can also refer to where people actually carry out the health behavior. Place could be public parks, in a social marketing campaign on exercise, for example. The 4th and final P is promotion. Promotion is the creation of messages that sell the product, that offer people an attractive exchange. Just as products have slogans and logos, so too must the social marketing product. Branding is important. Here, persuasion theories can be important, but we are using persuasion theories within a consumer orientation frame. There are 6 strategies in social marketing: planning, formative research, strategizing, campaign development, campaign implementation, and tracking evaluation. Planning involves the use of existing data to develop a planning model that will guide us in our preliminary decisions. In the formative research phase, we collect our own data from the people we are targeting. We could use surveys or focus groups, for example. This information allows us to know our audience. Formative research gives us a basis for developing a social marketing strategy. One important facet of our strategy is the segmentation of the target population. We will also develop our objectives for each audience segment, keeping in mind the 4 Ps. In the campaign development phase, we develop our materials and pre-test them to see how the target audiences respond. These materials include logos, slogans, arguments, visual elements, and anything else you will find in product advertising. Implementation refers to the launch of the campaign. We'll need to coordinate the activities of the offices and people who are responsible for the campaign. Tracking is similar to the idea process evaluation that was introduced in an earlier video. We will be collecting data to make sure our messages are reaching the intended people and are being understood. When indicated, mid-course corrections will be made in the campaign. The evaluation component is concerned with whether or not people are buying the social marketing product, satisfied with it, and so forth. Did the campaign work? Let us make all of this concrete by looking at a specific social marketing campaign, the Road Crew. The problem addressed by the campaign was that young men in rural Wisconsin would often drive themselves home after a night of drinking in taverns. The location was rural Wisconsin, where alternatives to driving are limited. Formative research revealed that even when offered alternative forms of transportation, men declined because they did not want to leave their automobiles at bars overnight. The product in this campaign is a ride service that transports men from their homes to bars, from bar to bar, and from bar back home. This allowed for a worry-free night out on the town. The price was subsidized. The ride was only the cost of a beer. With regard to place, the program was initially made available in bars in 3 trial counties. Promotion activities were numerous. For example, the program was branded as Road Crew with its own slogan and logo. Here's an example of one of the promotional messages. In this ad, we see a drunk guy having a great time in a bar. The print to the left says, "Dave doesn't have to drive tonight." That makes him happy, because when the road crew is driving and Dave is not, he can relax and simply enjoy a nice time with his friends. The print to the right says, "For more information on the totally brand newest way to get around safely, ask your bartender about the road crew. And remember, safety first, so don't jump around in the bar. Thanks." In the first year of the campaign, 20,000 rides were provided, and there was a 17% decrease in alcohol-related crashes. The state of Wisconsin saved $610,000. There was no evidence that people who used the program drank more than they would have had they drove themselves around. The program now has its own website, and communities around the world can take what they have done and adapt it to their own communities. I will conclude by making a few observations about this campaign. First, note that the product itself is attractive. Party, but party safely. The product offers a great exchange. For the cost of a beer, you can party without concern. The product solves a problem, that people who use Road Crew don't have to worry about leaving their car unattended. The product is made available at the place of decision, the bar itself. Finally, the product is promoted in a manner that doesn't cause shame or embarrassment.